What's up and welcome to our podcast, Toast to Tea.
We're two friends that love the world of celebrity and pop culture and talking about it with you.
To join our world of celebrity, make sure to rate, like, and subscribe to our podcast. Now hit it.
It's about that time.
Wait, where's the Chris Cam?
To say cheers to our world of celebrity.
1000%.
They're back together, and it feels just right.
Miss Mika, nice to meet ya.
Raise your glass.
I'm Maddison Hale.
And I'm Courtney Revolution.
Because it's our moment to
Toast to tea.
Courtney, hello. We are back for another week. How are you feeling? How are you doing?
Maddison, I'm actually feeling pretty dandy because as I was showing you before we got started, I had my protein bowl. I didn't finish her. But it was really good before I hopped on. So I feel good. My blood sugar is level.
I love that.
I've got my beverage. I've got my girly.
You're ready to go.
How are you?
You're ready to go. I'm good. I'm a little sore. I did another one of I was telling Courtney right before this, I did another one of my infrared sauna workout classes. That's my new thing that I'm trying because I need, I have two modes of working out. Walking pad and Housewives / Chicago PD. And having to force myself to go to a class where someone's like, do this. So I'm trying to find a balance of doing both. So I
You don't just get your ass up on the Stairmaster for 45 minutes?
No, I mean, I could, but sometimes then I'm like, this is kind of boring. And if I'm not watching anything.
I get that.
I
But
literally
Maddison,
can't.
the Stairmaster is what's going to snatch your waist if you're trying to snatch a waist.
I know. I'm trying
45 minutes 3 times a week?
I'm trying to snatch a waist. I'm trying to snatch my thighs. Trying to
As long
lift
as you're
that
moving.
butt. You know what I mean?
Oof.
No, this class that I'm taking, you only use 1 pound dumbbells, which sounds like, okay, girl, whatever. But no, the motions that we're doing, and then we're jumping, and we're
Like Pilates
swinging.
is like the isolated movements, and people say it's like really difficult.
And I'm so sore because I think there's a lot of muscles that haven't been even the most
Activated.
They're like, oh, wow, I didn't even know we existed. We're awake.
That's good.
No, it is good. But, just trying to get in shape for all these things I have coming up, all the weddings, the bachelorette parties. I just want to make sure that, I look good.
Madison, you already look good. You're trying to look even better.
That's right. I'm just trying to, elevate as much as I possibly can. Even more snatched if possible. Which, honestly, Courtney, speaking of like elevating the new, what did you think of the new Atlanta? Atlanta is finally out.
The new Real Housewives of Atlanta season Sweet 16. I want to give a strong 8.7 out of 10. I thought it was absolutely fantastic, especially for being off the air for 2 years. I gotta admit, my expectations were managed, which means they weren't exactly high, but I loved seeing the refresh on the graphics. I loved, Shamia being the anchor. I enjoyed the new Housewives so far. Something is missing for me cast-wise, and I think maybe it's the downgrade of Kenya in the edit. Like, we don't see her confessional. She's only in group scenes, really, and like the one little scene with Drew. I wish that we could hear what's going on in her head, and her being like a background character. It's kind of weird to me.
Yeah, it's crazy how she went from kind of the main girly to now you can very clearly tell they're trying to give her the smallest role possible. And then it's almost flipped because Shamia in the past was always kind of, Portia's sidekick. And now she is the anchor. She is the star. She is the richest of them all. Like, she is the center, essentially.
Yes.
Everything is based off of her, which crazy whirlwind for her, I'm sure. To go from literally being friend of to now you're center.
Like, I wonder what that conversation is like. You get a call from Bravo, you take a meeting, and they're like, all right, Shamia, this is what we're thinking.
Yeah.
You know these ladies, right?
I mean, it is.
All right, so let's get
crazy.
it bumping. Like, life-changing. I'm sure.
1,000,000%. Not that she needs any more money. Obviously, if you watch that first episode, I think of all the ladies, Shamia is doing quite literally just fine. But
yes,
I mean, it's still crazy to watch. And I'm with you. I think it's going to be good. I think the new people are good. I'm excited to see more of the newbies with the veterans, I guess you could say, because a couple of them were coming in hot. My fellow shorty girl came in really hot.
Miss Kelly, the waffle queen.
She's really short. She's really short. You can tell when she stands next to everyone. I'm like, oh my God, is that what I would look like on Housewives? Like a full
silly, Maddison.
Foot shorter than everybody else. But us short girls have to bring the drama times 10 and the personality times 10 to keep up with everyone who's normal height. So I respect it.
She's fierce.
She is fierce.
I will say this though. This is for sure a make or break season for Atlanta, right? So like, you know, coming on to Housewives is great for these new women, but it's like you'll either be known as like the flops that couldn't save the show, or like this is the brand new start of the next generation, a new era. So I hope that they gave what they're saying they gave, because they're saying like, oh, just wait. Y'all better bring it.
I hope so, because New York kept saying that too. Like I remember Brynn was on Watch What Happens Live when the second season of New York premiered. And she was like, I feel like last season we were like figuring it out. And like this season we're housewives. And I'm like, I could not actually disagree even more with what you just said, because I didn't even finish the second season of Real Housewives of New York. I literally skipped to the last 2 episodes.
I finished the first.
So I could see the drama that everyone was talking about. And then that was it. Because it was just, it did not give. So I hope that Atlanta can really prove itself, because I'm not a fan of the reboots. The reboots for me just never fully give, because
you're not connecting with them?
No, because I think what made Housewives so great initially was they actually did used to cast groups of friends, or like people who were connected at least a couple years prior. So they had actual friend or family drama, whereas Real Housewives of New York, when they reboot and recast and, you know, individually picked women, it was like, okay, now go hang out for 2 weeks and see if anything happens.
I completely get what you mean.
And they're fighting about charcuterie. It's like, what?
At least with Atlanta, for the most part, a lot of them know each other.
No, 1 million, and that's what makes it good.
I do appreciate that.
That's what makes it good.
I'm hoping that y'all...
Like, for example, Portia and Shamia have been friends since they were kids. Like, that's what you need.
Insane. I love that.
That's what you
I agree.
need. You know what I mean? Like, she's been hanging out with Kenya and Cynthia for what? Probably
the past
8 years?
The past
10
decade,
years
basically,
now? So, like, that's how it should be. So, I have faith that it will be good. It'll be good.
Girl, buckle up.
Andy, don't let us down. Even though, did you hear about Andy possibly stepping down?
I did hear that. I don't know what is going on.
There's rumors, you guys, that Andy's stepping down from Bravo. I know I kind of mumbled that, so let me make sure. But that would be absolutely insane. That's like Ronald McDonald saying he's not the face of McDonald's anymore. You know what I mean?
Girl, and he's not. And McDonald's ain't never been the same, period. I don't know what Bravo looks like in an Andy Cohen-less world, because it's like obviously someone has to come in and fill that void, and I don't know.
I don't know who would.
Like, how do you even begin to? Yeah, because Andy was like a producer, host, like he's all around. He's like the wizard.
I mean, Watch What Happens Live is literally his show.
Yeah, so I don't want him to step down, but also he is a father, so like maybe he wants to spend more time with his kids, and I can't be mad at that. So whatever decision he makes, I respect, but
I know, it will be weird.
Good luck to the next.
But also, Andy, like, say you're looking for 2 people to replace you. 2 really funny, amazing, Bravo in the know people who can hold their own in a reunion style setting.
2 hot grillies.
Just saying, who would love to travel back and forth to New York.
Oh, yeah. Girl, you done pack this up and move.
Have ideas for days. You know, if you're looking for those 2 people, Andy, we have 2 phone numbers for you. So just give us a little ringy-ding, okay? We're ready. I'm ready. I just thought we should manifest it and put it out there. I mean, why not? The rumors are already swirling.
Girl, you never know.
I know. I always just say, why not? We have nothing to lose. Nothing to lose. Also, the last thing I wanted to talk about before we get into the team is Kelly Clarkson. You know, people are worried because she hasn't been hosting her show.
I saw that.
It was like almost a where is Kate Middleton, where is Kelly Clarkson situation.
Kelly Clarkson is trying to get her mind right. You know what it is? She's probably trying to enjoy her last meals, because once she starts training for the residency, I'm sure like her diet will change, her exercise regimen will change, and maybe she was spending time with her family. I don't know.
I mean, I always think actually a Vegas residency is kind of like the best thing for an artist because you're in one place and everyone's coming to you. So, and I think
they saying Harry Styles might be at the Sphere, girl.
Oh, really? Wow.
It's rumored.
Oh my God. I'm telling you, Vegas is where it's at. Thank God
You know
it's
I'll be
closed.
there.
Yeah. Oh, I know. I would go see Harry Styles over Katy Perry, obviously.
Maddison. What do you mean?
You know, I mean it.
I just want to say this community really quick. For any of the community that is a Beyonce lover, in case you were very upset that her ticket prices were outrageously priced, there were tickets near the front that were $1,200 that are now $549.
Really?
Just wanted to put that out there. Just go on ahead and recheck your state because prices have dropped because it appears it's being reported that maybe their tickets are not selling as quickly as previous tours. That's what's being reported. I love Beyonce.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah, so
I
just
mean,
go ahead and double check.
Truthfully, like I'm not even trying to make a joke, but in this economy, who is spending $1,200 on a concert ticket?
Yeah. $1,200 and to not literally be on Beyonce's lap at that point.
Like
$1,200, the girl, that's rent.
That's crazy.
That's rent.
It's insane. So, I mean, yeah, you've got to lower it a little. I understand like floor, first row, you're going to be paying a pretty penny, but $1,200.
And Maddison, even then,
like
Nikki was not costing
No.
$1,200, and I was very much on the floor. Nikki was nowhere near $1,200 when I was on the floor and had a very beautiful seat. So and here's the thing. I've now been fortunate enough to experience a Beyonce show, and I can say that for what I paid for Renaissance, which was still nowhere near $1,200, it was worth. I would have paid more.
Okay.
I can't because it's not out. I can't say the same for Cowboy Carter. I'm sure it'll blow our eyebrows off. I'm sure it will, but I'm gonna need to see a video clip.
Yeah.
before I really dig that deep into my
someone
purse.
to live stream the first show and then I'll decide.
Let me see what it's giving.
Yeah. That's fair. That's fair.
Right? That's a lot of money, guys.
No, that's what I'm saying. I mean, and think of like, you want to be able to go with a group of friends, or if you're a parent,
and that's the thing, Maddison.
Like,
that's what pisses me off about concert culture these days, right? Is because not everybody has the same job, not everybody has the same finances. Everybody has their own lives with their different stresses and urgencies on things that they have to pay for, and it pisses me off that sometimes like I want to go to a concert and like sit in a particular area, but they're so expensive that like I have to wind up going by myself, or like my friends can't come, or not all of my friends can come.
Right.
When it should be the whole squad should go because the ticket should be $150.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
Max.
1,000,000%. 1,000,000%. My dad always complains about that too because he's like, which I always laugh at back in the day, but it's true. He's like, really anyone could have access to live music and concerts. And now it's not that way at all, which actually sucks and is sad because I feel like I remember my first concert was Spice Girls. Actually, I think it might have been Santana with my parents, but like the first one, like
Carlos?
Yes, Carlos Santana. my parents took us everywhere. Okay,
I love that for you
because we lived in a state where we had no, like our grandparents didn't live because my parents moved to Kansas City, so my dad could go to medical school. So we didn't have like our nearest set of grandparents were 3 hours away in Wellington, Kansas. So if my parents wanted to go somewhere, they brought us. Until obviously like they found a sitter they trusted, but even so, I remember going to those concerts and like, that's what made me want to start doing dance because I would see the backup dancers at shows and I would be like, that looks like so much fun. I just think it's good for kids to experience different things, obviously age appropriate music. I'm not saying my parents always took us to the most age appropriate, like we went to Kansas and they were smoking weed. And I remember my sister was like, what is that? That just smells like a funny cigarette. And my parents were like, it's a different kind of cigarette. Don't worry about it, But I just feel like it's important, and you're right. Concert culture has just totally shifted, and I hope it gets back to how it was.
The kids got to get back into the live music. The day my brother was like, I want to go to a concert, Maddison, you already know.
Yeah. Ready. Let's go.
It's about to be girl. And what, the first row? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, you want the Hummer limo to the concert? Oh, okay.
The Hummer limo. Oh my God.
Give me my Super Sweet 16 2007, girl.
Oh my
Yes, we getting a Hummer limo
God.
to the concert, girl, period.
1,000,000%.
So
1,000,000%.
extra.
That reminds me of when we went to go see Chris Brown, which that was when he was
Is
problematic.
your man on the floor, girl?
Pre-problematic. That's when he was
Whew.
like, he was grinding on the floor though, and then he like apologized to the parents in the audience. He was like, I'm sorry. But he was just, it was.
I want to mention this one Chris Brown moment, and community, please don't throw eggs. This was pre-abuse.
I was going to say, mine was also
This was pre-abuse.
Pre-Rihanna, pre-Rihanna.
When Chris Brown did Take You Down on the spin, the big, huge disc. Oh, God, I'm gay. God, in that moment, in that year exclusively, God bless Chris Brown. I remember watching that music video, that live performance of Chris Brown, Take You Down on the big, huge circle disc. Oh my God.
I think I have the confirmation
gay.
I've been looking for.
I said I thought I was gay when I saw Shamar Moore shake them hips on Soul Train. But Chris Brown, Take You Down? Exclusively that year?
Oh my
Pre-abuse?
God. Oh, that kills me. That is so funny.
Yeah.
Trash
now,
PR.
back then?
Chris Brown PR was, before
There
we
was an
knew.
agenda.
Before we knew. I'm telling you, when he was grinding on the floor at that concert, I was like, I was here for it.
Stupid question, Maddison, before we get into the tea. Sorry. And community, please feel free to chime in, depending on what age you are. All ages welcome. Because community is what y'all are called. Do you think that the generation before us also lived with like, oh my God, I love these artists, blah, blah, blah. And then they grew up and found out that like all their favorite artists were like problematic? Is that a thing that happens in every generation, you think?
I think a little bit. But I also think it's different because social media and the way even like news media was for other generations wasn't the same. Like if you think of like the classic rock bands, they were doing shenanigans, but nobody knew about it because there were no cell phones. No fans were able to go back.
No live streams.
Pictures of anything. No one was running to TMZ to say, this is what I experienced backstage at, the AC/DC show. So I'm sure, I do think like, yes, but not to the extent of we're experiencing because we grew up in the age of the internet, social media.
The age of the receipt.
Yeah. I mean, but if you think about it, like Steven Tyler, he, the frontman for Aerosmith, he is literally the biggest creeper. And it's come out now that he was a creeper with an underage girl, wrote about it in his book. Yeah, y'all look.
He wrote about it? What the heck? He talking about it?
In his book. Mm-hmm.
So Steven Tyler in jail?
He is not. But he is not touring with Aerosmith right now. He went into some like
I did not know
facility
that,
to rest his vocal cords or some. Yeah. Oh yeah. You have to look it up because I used to love Aerosmith. Like that was one of the bands that I always told Papa Hill. I was like, I want to go see Aerosmith. That is like a rock band that I really do care about. We went and saw them in Vegas years ago, and it was so fun. I was worried Steven Tyler was going to break a hip, but it was fun. And then probably a year after that is when like stuff started coming out about things that he did and how he wrote about it in his book. And I literally was like, what the F? And so now Mama Hill and I were like, no, sorry. Steven Tyler.
My thing with that is, and not to be like this is probably the most niche I've been on y'all's internet on camera with y'all. Hi, y'all. I'm a secret WWE fan. Vince McMahon is like the manager of all of, he's like the big boss or whatever, the CEO, whatever. Loved him. He's always been like the villain character throughout the WWE drama storylines, what have you. And there was this Netflix documentary that had come out, and y'all, it's so good. Even if you're not in WWE, put it on a Sunday and do your laundry. And it came out that like Vince McMahon was like literally the worst, like creepy, like creeper Maddison. Like if you weren't doing what he says, he would like write into the storylines, because like wrestling has like storylines, like reality TV. Yeah. He would like write into the storyline that you would have to like do something disgusting with him. Like it's just, he was just like an old creeper, and it sucks because that was such a big part of my childhood, and I loved him specifically. Yeah. And I was like, not this. It's Diddy all over again.
That sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do feel like a lot of the people, for us, our generation, You know, and I also think things like we've visibly seen them shift too, where I feel like maybe like people our parents' age, not so much, but we've seen the culture shift from like you can get away with certain things to can't do that anymore.
You ain't getting away with shit.
And we were kind of like in that in between where like, you know, we were at an age where you could still get away with doing some stuff, but now it'd be an absolute hell no. And so I think that's biting some people in the tush, obviously, you know. It is weird to think about though, because you're right. When you consider our parents and maybe them and their heroes, their celebrities, whatever, I do feel like it's not as much. But yeah. We hear about stuff like here and there, like Brian McKnight is trash, or like you know. Yeah, we've had a lot. I mean, think of Nickelodeon. The Nickelodeon documentary basically was like, oh, remember that childhood you guys thought was so hilarious and fun and all the content you watch? Lies.
Girl, so don't make me call that footman out, because I will drag him by that mullet.
That's basically what it was.
In the name of Amanda Bynes, I will get that bitch.
That's basically what it was. I will say I did recently, for any of our older community members, I did recently see a headline this week about Molly Ringwald talking about John Hughes, who was like the director for all those iconic 80s movies.
The 80s movie, yeah.
16 Candles, Pretty in Pink, like all of the ones that she was in, and how now she's reflecting back being like, I actually don't think that was okay. Like as a teenager being a director's muse for so many things, like kind of re-examining, I guess, their relationship. So that's like an older callback, I feel like, that now someone is like Molly Ringwald is being like, I'm kind of rethinking a few things. So just wanted to throw that out there for all the ages. Because I love those 80s movies personally. Life looked so easy in the 80s. And I would love to go back. Courtney,
it's crazy how
we would be famous already in the 80s. Like we would literally
been famous, Maddison. I had to laugh because there was a TikTok from like a Gen Zer that was like, millennials just used to have so much fun. They actually danced in the clubs and like had fun. And like when I thought about it, I was like,
no, it's so true.
The young people in the clubs don't dance. No. The people younger than us.
No,
they don't
do
really
not.
They're the ones on their phone. Girl, for those of y'all community, when I am in a party setting and I've had a good cocktail, the way I don't have a weave, but if I had one, the way I would sweat it out every single time. Like I'm leaving the venue sweating.
No, what comes to mind is Courtney and I went to a Netflix event. This is like a year ago. I think it was to kick off Pride last year. Oh my God. And prime example, okay? It's at
tore that whole club up.
Yes, and all these people are standing around on their phones. Courtney and I literally take our butts upstairs. We find a balcony that's overlooking because no one else is dancing, and we are having the time of our lives. Could not care.
That was such a good night.
We were like, we're on display, Melissa Gorga, as we should be, dancing. I'm with you. I don't know why the younger generation does not dance. How do you guys hear music and not move? Like, I hear good music, and I cannot physically help myself.
I think that there's this like this fear of being cringe that I have discovered in my experience that some young people have that is almost like debilitating.
That's crazy.
And I want younger people that may be feeling that way to just think to themselves, like, for real, who cares?
Who cares?
Like, we could all die tomorrow and like your song is on and you want to shake your ass and you scared to.
I couldn't imagine.
I want you to go ahead and I need you to go and shake your ass for me. Please.
No, you have to. And also like you need to know how to dance in social settings. You need to know how to not just do TikTok dances, because what are you going to do when all your friends get married? They're going to want a dance party and you're going to not know what to do. So you've got to practice your dancing. You've got to do it.
The rug must be cut, y'all.
Yes, like period. You have to that is, Courtney, that should be our new like mission. We're gonna get the younger generation to let loose. Like, or not let loose in that way, but like dance. Because I agree. Come on, college kids, are you not dancing when you go out?
No, they standing around and kikiing and filming.
You know me. I mean, if any early 2000s came on, I'm now
at the point, Maddison, where if a party wants to lock up my phone, take it.
Yeah.
Take it. Because, like, honestly, I would rather be around people that want to talk and socialize and dance than not.
1,000,000%. You know? The last thing I'll say, did you ever do, like, party buses in high school? To drive
Madison, I want to say this.
That's what kids need, because that's where I feel like we would dance and you wouldn't care who was watching because it was just you and your friends.
My party bus experience wasn't in high school, but it was at my Disney college program. And so what they did was you could either like have your friend drive you to the club, or you would pay $10 to get on the party bus. They would have all the booze on the party bus. You drink before you even get to the venue. You dance on the bus. And it was literally a school bus.
Yes.
And we would, be dancing
that they
on
would
the
like
bus.
take the seats out. Like it was so fun.
Yes.
Does anyone do that
Maddison,
anymore?
we've lived.
We have lived. I know. That's what I'm wondering. I'm like, do people even do that anymore? Because those are some of my favorite memories. Truthfully.
Taking me back, girl, to a Long Island iced tea falling down on the floor, girl. Yes.
It was so fun. And I remember like we would do them after dances, and it would always be a drama of like, whose parent is going to sign off on the bus? Because all the parents would always be like, oh God. So it'd always be drama of like, whose parent's going to do it? Finally, one person's parent would. There would always be the big speech of like, no drinking on the bus because you guys are underage. And we're like, okay, we literally just wanted to all ride together and like dance and
have fun
and feel cool. You know what I mean? Be like, oh, our parents aren't here. We're on a bus. Like the bus would literally just drive us around Kansas City. Like we wouldn't get off. They would just pick us up from the dance, drive around Kansas City, and take us to someone's neighborhood, and the parents would be there to pick us, like take us home. But it was so
That's
fun.
good, clean fun. Yeah, I don't think the girlies do that anymore.
Wow.
I gotta ask my brother. Do the girlies?
ask because I'm really
my brother's like 18.
curious, and now I kind of want to get a party bus like for my birthday or something. We should do that.
Let's do that.
We should do that. That'd be
Madison,
so
what
fun.
you want to do for your birthday? We have to get into the tea, man.
Okay, sorry. Okay. Now you guys, like, this is really just going off
This is
docket.
like the actual pre-tea, like before we hit record.
This is just going off the docket, but we love nostalgia. I feel like nostalgia is part of our brand, so
I agree.
Okay, cheers. We're getting into the tea. Sorry,
Cheers.
everyone. Okay, can we
This is
talk
where we have
about
chapters.
Miss Ariana? Okay.
Yes.
She has revealed she's going to make her directorial debut. Okay, Taylor Swift, get a girl. She has a new short film titled Brighter Days Ahead that's going to release later this month. It is her first venture into directing. She co-directed the film with Christian Breslauer. He's worked with Lizzo, Lisa, Iggy Azalea. The short film is going to coincide with the deluxe edition of Eternal Sunshine, which really quick, Courtney, have you seen the comparisons of Ariana's album art? Yes.
Yes. I want to say this.
What do you have to say? Because it doesn't look
It's
good.
based off of this film. And also,
The comparison
her
is
down.
uncanny.
it is very uncanny, but even if it was Ariana ripping off Jhené Aiko, girl, nothing is original. I honestly don't think Ariana was like thinking about Jhené Aiko, but I do understand that like the resemblance is uncanny.
It's uncanny.
But we don't know what the film exactly is
We also,
about.
like, can you remember Jhené Aiko and Big Sean, Ariana and Big Sean? Like, I'm just like, girl, there's multiple layers to the stitch.
As long as Jhené don't say nothing about it,
There
everything is copacetic.
Okay. Because I was like,
I am excited about it though. You already know me. I love Ariana Grande. This album in particular is probably in my top 2 out of her discography, which to me is a perfect discography. She does not have one bad album, in my opinion.
that's my opinion.
That's my opinion. But I don't know. I'll take this if we're not going to get a tour.
Okay.
You know, I know Wicked is, you know,
Taking over
at this
her
point, just a few months away at this point. So let's get it out of the way. Let's get Galinda out of the way. And if this is to hold us over and then we do a little something after that, good
You're
work.
here for
Keep us fed.
Yes. Okay. I agree. Even though I probably am not as excited about the deluxe edition as you are, but
You didn't like this album, Maddison? Well, you're not the biggest Ariana.
I'm not the biggest Ariana fan. I do like a couple of her, just like Magic. I have said 1,000 times it's my manifestation
Wake
song.
up in my bed. I just want to have a good day.
Like, it's perfect for manifesting. I will give Ari that.
I have that on my manifestation playlist for this year.
Yes, for anyone who needs a song, just like Magic, Ariana Grande, listen to the words. You're going to be like, wow, how have I not put this on my manifestation playlist?
Stupid.
But so I do love her for that. I will I'll probably give the short film a view just because I'll be very curious.
I hope you'll like it.
That was really nice. That was really sweet.
I hope you'll like
It was really nice. You're welcome.
Ariana, I believe in your talent, girl. And I will see you on the tour. Now, you're going to get my coin.
Oh, yeah,
I don't know about 1,200, but you're going to get close.
Maybe not 1,200 of them, but
I need the
pretty
maximum Ariana sit on the sunshine, damn it, package. That's what I need.
Exactly. I am dead. Okay, Courtney, let's move on and talk about Miss Wendy. There's been so much Wendy Williams tea this week.
Yeah.
Like, are you?
This is like freaking me out, honestly.
No, the system is broken. I don't know how to fix it. I don't know who needs to fix it, but someone needs to fix it because the system is broken. So this week, quick rundown of everything that's been going on for anyone who hasn't followed. Wendy, at the beginning of the week, was escorted to the hospital. This was after she slipped a note to authorities asking for help because Wendy has been speaking to the media. She's been doing a lot of interviews trying to prove that she's not mentally incapacitated. And the good thing about those are it did trigger an investigation. So now the NYPD and Adult Social Services have been looking into her claims about the facility she's living in. While they were doing these investigations, she got a note to them that she needed help. So they escorted her out, took her to the hospital. She went and did a psychiatric capacity test to see where she's at. Passed with flying colors. Literally 10 out of 10, 100%, A++. Essentially, the test just makes sure that you're mentally alert, you're oriented, know what's going on. What's crazy is these results directly contradict what her guardian has been telling the public. Her guardian's been telling the public she's disabled, she can't speak, she's incapacitated. Obviously, not so much. The results were sent to the judge, but I don't feel very secure in the judge overseeing Wendy's case because we got another report from TMZ where a source said the judge is pissed she's talking to the media.
Yeah, that's what I read.
The judge has told her multiple times, stop talking to the media. Wendy is not listening. And so now the judge is reportedly threatening to send Wendy to a different facility with even more restrictions, even more on lockdown. Wendy's lawyer is trying to fight this, but the judge wrote back saying, quote, I've always contended that Wendy will be given the independence she can handle. I question how well she has handled the independence she has been given. So now she's apparently bracing herself. This is what sources told TMZ. She's bracing herself to have more taken away from her because she's not going to stop talking to the media about what's going on.
My thing is this. Y'all don't think it's weird that the Guardian said that Wendy is allowed to come and go as she pleased, and Wendy is out there saying she can't even leave her room?
I mean, it's pretty crazy.
Hello. Like, y'all don't think that it's weird that this lady has to communicate with, like, TMZ through the window of her room?
Mm-hmm.
Putting signs and messages up against the window? That's not strange to y'all?
And
the judge is upset that she's talking to the public.
The judge
she's
is
a media
upset.
Figure.
And here's the thing. When you are in an independent living facility, living facility, the memory care units are always locked for the safety of the residents because a lot of those people have
I know.
dementia all the time. So like, I don't want people to think like they're doing anything wrong by locking that part of the facility down. That is not against the law. Pretty much in any facility across the country, that's what you're going to see. It's more so like, should Wendy at her state be in that level of lockdown? She at one point, maybe, I mean, the reason why she got put up there is because she got drunk at the restaurant in the independent living facility.
Maddison.
And so that's why it happened. But the whole thing is so messed up. It's so messed up that literally a judge can decide your feet. Like, she's in a position where she has no autonomy over anything.
Maddison and community, I would like to say this. I think it is so disappointing that all of this entire situation was triggered by Wendy Williams' son spending her money without her knowing.
Yep.
All of this started because he triggered that Wells Fargo account by spending so much money, and Wells Fargo did what they legally had to do, which was freeze those accounts. Remember Community in Maddison back when Wendy was like, oh, I ain't got no money. They took my money. Like, she was like posting on Instagram, tells Wells Fargo to give me my money. All of this because Kev Jr. was spending his mother's money like that. This is awful.
I think
awful.
That started just an absolute snowball effect because that obviously put her on the radar. And then I think, you know, when you look at the Lifetime documentary, she was drinking to excess. She was not healthy. Something was wrong. I don't want anyone to think that we're sitting here being like,
yeah, we're not
everything
saying
was
that,
roses and butterflies. She definitely needed assistance, but do I think she needed this level of severity? Probably not.
I don't
Especially
think so.
When at this point she's saying, I just want to be in Florida with my family. Like, I'm not even trying to go back to do all of the things that I was doing before. I literally just want to be with my family.
She just want her freedom back. Like, damn.
I want to be able to go out to eat without someone having to check me in and check me out. You know, and her niece participated in some of the investigations. She was interviewed by authorities. I know her niece is really trying to help her. She took her to dinner recently. And the facility put out a missing persons notice because they didn't know where Wendy was, even though the niece signed her out.
Yeah, they were saying that I believe her name is Alexis. They were saying that Alexis was breaking some sort of rule. That lady is allowed to take her family member out to get a bite. Damn it. They pissing me off with this, Maddison. Yeah. If they don't leave Wendy Williams alone, I'm not saying she got to get back to the show or get back to a podcast, but can she go and be free with her family?
That's how I feel. I'm like, at this point, just let her go to Florida.
Yeah.
Let her go to Florida, live her life however she wants to live it. And I don't understand why that's such a big deal. And then I also think of too, Courtney, think of how crazy this situation is for Wendy Williams, the Wendy Williams, a woman who people want to hear her story. Think of all of the people who don't have a platform who this is happening to.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what scares me. That there could be somebody in a memory care unit in Ohio who is like, my spouse, my partner, my kid, my whoever lied, got me here, and now I'm literally stuck.
And now that's it. Now I'm a prisoner.
And no one takes me seriously because they think I'm crazy and I don't remember.
That's terrifying, Maddison.
That's what scares me about this whole situation. And almost what feels like corruption all the way up to the judge, that the judge has the authority to be like, you're talking too much, I'm going to send you somewhere else.
Yeah, I don't like that. That's weird to me.
Why are we treating somebody who allegedly has dementia like that? Shouldn't we be making sure that they're
Maddison, that's a very
cared
good point.
for in the most compassionate way?
Yes, ma'am. Say it like you mean it. Shout it out.
It is wild to me. Walking contradictions.
I'm disappointed, but I am still holding out hope that Wendy can get out of this conservatorship.
I hope so too.
Because this is scary to me.
Me too. So Wendy, we're sending her all of the positivity, prayers, vibes. Hopefully this gets resolved soon. We're going to move on and talk about Lizzo. Lizzo has returned to
Firstly, have you heard the new music?
No, I have not. I almost, actually though, she's selling her athletic brand on Amazon now. Yitty. I did almost try some of her athletic brand, but then I was like, no.
Get some Yitty and do an unboxing on Instagram. That's your homework.
I'll do it. I'll do it for you. No, I'm just kidding. But I also was nervous. I'm like, are we cool with Lizzo now? Is everyone cool with her now?
Well, the dancers, that was dismissed.
Okay. So
I believe that was dismissed.
I knew
which is
one
why
of them,
she's back.
I knew one of them was, but I didn't know if both of them were
Oh, I'm not. Girl, I don't know those.
Okay. Well, Lizzo probably is back. She's back on stage, so.
Yes, and she's doing the sort of a mini tour where she's doing these intimate performances before she does her big shebang, which I think is sort of her trying to rebuild the fan base that she lost after the lawsuits. For me personally, Maddison, and lawsuits aside, I am a Lizzo fan. I do enjoy the music. I've enjoyed the music for years before Truth Hurts and all of that. I want the new music to hit, and thus far, I'm not impressed. And that, I think, is disappointing. It's not that it's not inspired. It's not that it's... I don't know. Yeah. I think I'm looking for something other than... I was sad and now I'm hot. Let's go out and party. That's kind of the overall from these two songs that she's just put out. It's very much I was sad, but now I'm hot. Clap your ass. She's not saying that exactly, but I get it. Lizzo is for championing blowing the clouds away when you're blue, right? But it doesn't have the same magic as a Truth Hurts or a Birthday was another great song she has. So I am going to listen to the album when it comes out, but I'm not moved.
So far.
I'm scared, actually.
I know. I hope she comes out with a bang because I feel like for a minute there, she kind of stopped, kind of like Cardi B in a sense of like stopped being talked about so much for her music and more so for like things she's doing on social media, like more influencer and stuff of like Lizzo lost a bunch of weight and here's how she did it. And now she's promoting, and so I feel like her career kind of took an interesting hard left when all the lawsuit stuff started happening. And obviously she's trying to balance it back out and go back towards the music route. I agree. I want to give the music a chance because I'm with you. I have always loved Lizzo's music.
You have. Yeah.
To me, it's always like one of those, like her music is perfect for blasting it in your car, singing at the top of your, and you're just like, I am feeling myself. Like I just got my hair done and I look good.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yes.
And I want it to be like that. I'm with you so far. I'm kind of like, oh, but maybe we just got to kind of dust the cobwebs off. And maybe that's what we're doing right now. And it will not disappoint.
It's just not lost on me that, and we felt this way about Camila back in the day. It's not lost on me that she has put out her comeback single and we already have a follow-up.
Yeah.
And it's because the first one kind of came and went.
Yeah.
Lizzo, let's be honest, it came and went. Now I'm glad that you lost weight.
Lizzo, let's be honest.
Health is wealth.
It is.
But even that is not really drawing. People are upset. I found out on TikTok.
Yeah.
They're upset that she's losing weight.
Well,
I don't think that it means that she's standing for a different message. I just think she wanted to be a little healthier and the weight came off. But people are like, she's purposely losing weight and now she's different and now the music's trash. And I'm like, I'm not on that band.
I mean, people said that about Adele too. Of like, once Adele lost weight, she wasn't as good of a singer.
And Adele still sing her ass off. So
I will say the difference between Adele and Lizzo, I think Adele never really promoted body positivity.
Absolutely, yeah.
Lizzo, that was a huge part of who she was, like her brand. And making sure people in her band were body positive, making sure she had dancers that represented all different body types. So I understand people feeling a little bit of a type of way. To be honest with you, I get that.
Community and Maddison, can't body positivity also mean I like to go to the gym?
It can.
Or go on a hike. I'm not saying you got to be Cadet Kelly or go to Barry's, but like Lizzo could just be drinking some coconut water and going on a hike.
1,000,000% it can. And I think Lizzo at least is open about what she, a little more open about what she does.
Yeah.
There are, this is niche, and if y'all, I know some people in the community will know who I'm talking about. Courtney, have you ever seen Remy Bader's TikTok?
No.
Okay, so Remy Bader was this influencer who blew up in 2020 for doing realistic fashion hauls, okay? And she was a plus size model, like she would buy clothes from like Free People and Zara, and was kind of doing these fashion hauls, and also really being a huge advocate of like brands need to have more inclusive sizes for women. Okay. Built her whole brand around this, did a whole pink collab, expanding their size range, all of this stuff. Then broke up with her boyfriend, and over the past year, I would say has lost probably 150 pounds. Like, I mean, has drastically changed. Like, looks like a completely different person. And has not once said how she got there. And in fact, when people ask her like, oh my God, you look amazing, what did you do? She's like, I'm more than my size. I'm more than my body. I don't need to tell anyone anything that which is her right.
Your brand message up until that point had been,
I'm for the girls.
We need to be inclusive with
the
sizing for all shapes and sizes.
1,000,000%. So that's where I struggle, I guess, with some public figures in the body positivity. I don't think Lizzo, I would not necessarily put her in this category because you're right. Body positivity is also taking care of yourself and being realistic about your health. And if you need to make changes, you should be making those changes, and you should promote that you're listening to your body, and that counts. Like, just because someone's wanting to get fit doesn't mean they aren't body positive anymore. Yeah. And like I said, Lizzo's open about that, but I understand people kind of giving Lizzo a hard time and lumping her into other categories of maybe other influencers or public figures, because it is frustrating to see. It's like, okay, you hooked us all in doing this one thing, which obviously you're allowed to change, but also be open about it. Because I also think it's a slippery slope of setting unrealistic expectations for people. And they think if I do maybe some unhealthy things, then I'm going to look like her too. And I think it's, you have to be so careful when you have a big audience like that, like really mindful.
Well, I'm grateful to say that unlike the influencer that you mentioned, Lizzo has been pretty transparent about like what she eats and like her workout regimen. I can understand people being upset that they can maybe no longer see themselves in Lizzo because it is a transformation. But I think that the message still rings true, is like to still love yourself no matter what size you are, whether you're a little bit thicker or you're a little bit not, you know?
And it's hard. And it's hard.
That's a complex kind of like discussion.
It's so hard, truthfully, you guys. I mean, we're surrounded by comparison all day long, right? We are constantly comparing ourselves to others. No matter how many times I tell myself a day, comparison is the thief of joy. It happens, you know? So I think that's why people sometimes get these visceral reactions to certain things. Because they're kind of like, well, I thought Lizzo was my representation. I thought Remy Bader was my representation. And now they're kind of giving into like societal norms, you know? And it's crazy. It is a much bigger conversation, and one that we should continue having, because I don't feel like a lot of people have it with this level of honesty. Because a lot of people feel like, well, if you're not saying body positivity is real and amazing, then you're a horrible person. But I think Courtney and I come at it from a unique perspective because we live in LA, where it's like, truthfully, people will say like, yeah, inclusivity of all different body types, but like, wink, wink. You know, that's like,
absolutely.
That's how I feel in LA anyway. It's like,
it's the that's
publicly we're going to say all sizes are beautiful, but like you actually want an opportunity and you want to be invited to these influencer events, you want to do this, like, okay, girl, you know.
Time to be skinny.
And it's hard. It is, I mean, it is hard. But
yeah, especially when it's in your face all the time.
Yep. So just remember, community, no one's alone in that. You're not the only one who goes through that. We all got each other's backs when it comes to that. We will work through it. We will work through it together. Okay, moving on. This is just something I added to the docket because I thought Courtney would be proud of me because it includes a Netflix reality star. And also, too, it's so random that it needs to be discussed.
I agree.
So, Lucy Hale, aka anyone who watched Pretty Little Liars, and Netflix reality star Harry Jowsey.
I literally just saw him.
Are reportedly dating. Weird. Yeah. You know what's crazy too, though? For anyone who's like, what in the Star Magazine is this? Y'all, it's not even Star Magazine. It's People Magazine. Right? No, People broke the news. That's when I was like, oh, uh-oh.
Interesting.
Yeah, People broke the news and said that they're super casual but not brand new. And then another source spoke to Us Magazine, said they're having fun. They're spending time together in New York. Apparently, Harry initiated this. He slid into Lucy's DMs.
Oh, he was just in New York.
He slid into Lucy's DMs because they're both sober right now. Or like they're both going through, they're both choosing to be sober.
That.
This is what the source told Us Magazine.
But that makes sense because Chloe is sober and they're close.
Okay.
Harry and Chloe, yeah.
So everyone's going sober. This insider went on to say, quote, it's casual and they're having fun, but Harry is very into Lucy. The source continued saying friends around them think they're very cute and are a good yet surprising match. How do you want to navigate that?
Okay. Love Harry down.
No, I know you do.
Honestly, a very nice guy. I didn't expect him to link up with Lucy Hale, but I think that this situation is beneficial for both of them. And if they do genuinely like each other, it can only help. That's my statement. That's my Netflix representative statement. This is a great move for both of them. And if they both like each other,
Mazel tov.
Hell yeah. I think it's interesting that right before this report came out today, like a day or two, maybe 3 days max.
Are you talking about that TikTok you posted?
No, Lucy Hale was in the news because I guess she had also tried out for the substance. And I guess her team wanted us to know that she could have been in that huge movie that it won an Oscar,
I
right?
never understand the point of that. I'm like, why is your team like, my
And
client
now
almost
she's
was
in the
this
news
movie,
again.
but she lost to
She's-
Margaret Qualley. It's like, okay.
Now she's in the news again with someone that has a strong profile socially. I think it's great for both of them. She's an actual celebrity.
Mm-hmm.
And
Do you believe he slid
it's
in?
good for them.
Do you believe he slid into her DMs?
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Harry's not shy.
Wow.
She just
Maybe I should
happened
start
to
sliding into
answer
DMs.
it.
Maybe I should start doing that.
Maddison,
Hey.
where did Shawn answer? Shawn
Okay.
Mendes?
Well, I think we know why Shawn didn't answer. I don't think I'm quite Shawn's type. Which is really
Real quick, can we whack Camila?
a really
Why
sad day for me. But I've seen the light, community. I've seen the light, and I do realize why I was left on red. I understand.
Why they don't have Camila doing her tour in America, Madison? They got
They
her
said-
strictly out the country.
Girl, go eat some croissants while you travel and pray for the best. Pray for the
Shout out
best.
to Camila because she liked
Pray for
my
the best.
TikTok about Neopets, but I do think that is funny. That
is
she's
funny.
Only on tour
That is
outside of
funny.
America.
Also, you just said Neopets, which, sorry. Okay, we're going so off docket today, you guys. I hope you're enjoying this episode because literally 98% of what we're talking about, we did not write down. Really quick,
Literally.
did you see this week that Neyo himself debuted on Instagram that he has 4 girlfriends?
I don't know. This has just reached white media. This has been like in the black blogs for like a really long time.
Okay.
These little mini stories about him being out with these girlfriends, and now all of a sudden
well,
it's like a thing.
It just really hit this week. And
He went from
I'm
Moneta
confused. Yeah.
to 4 girlfriends.
Because what I was going to say, wasn't he in trouble for not paying child support or something?
Girl, something.
There was something. There was something that it was
there was a video or
Neo's
something. His
trash.
baby mama or something.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we talked about it, and then now he has 4 girlfriends.
How can you afford 4 girlfriends if you can't afford child support is my first question. Second of all, nothing against polyamorous relationships, but like who wants to date Neyo, especially sharing him with other women? That's embarrassing. Great people should be in polyamorous relationships. People that are not good parents should not be in polyamorous relationships, in my opinion.
It's my opinion.
That's my opinion.
That's true.
His head is shaped like a milk dud. He's not a good person.
Courtney, I literally was just about to say, are you going to say he has a milk dud head?
He literally has a milk dud. The milk dud in a fedora. I can't take it. He's an embarrassment. And, I don't like bad fathers. So.
I know. That is where we draw the line.
Yeah, he sucks.
No, absolutely not. But sorry, you said Neopets and it just clicked to me. But you know what? Shout out to Harry and Lucy Hale. We'll be keeping an eye on you.
That's hilarious that the first time Camila saw me ever in her life was not me calling her Scamila.
I was
me
going to say,
literally talking about Neopets.
I was going to say, honestly, blessed that that's the first TikTok she saw. Like,
I said,
God.
not Camila.
I
love me.
First of all, I just know Hailey Bieber is going to see one of my videos one day and comment. And the headlines that are like, Hailey Bieber claps back on troll TikToker. I'm like, that's going to be me
And
one
Maddison, she better keep it cute. Because we're going to get right up on this podcast and drag her ass.
Like,
So,
I have this fear because she scrolls. She scrolls.
Yeah.
Like, I know she does. And you know that we've been on the radar before. The Bieber radar before.
Absolutely.
So, I always tell people, I'm like, you'll know when Courtney and I got to check and our tune changes. And honestly, you know what I love? Like, everyone's so supportive. They're like, we'll know and we won't even care. We'll be happy that you got to check.
Period. And they need to write your full name in the article so they could go to your YouTube channel and you can get some checks. Period.
Oh,
yes.
Dad. That's why we have the best people in our corner. Okay, last thing we're going to talk about, Miss Kim K and her revelation on the most recent episode of the Kardashians. She was talking about her engagement ring to Chris Humphries. And she actually said she paid for 80% of the ring.
What did you think about that?
I was like, why are you spilling this tea now? But the other thing that I think is so weird, I'm just like, no wonder that marriage failed. I mean, you truly didn't really let him take ownership of anything. You know what I mean? I feel like an engagement ring, an engagement, like maybe I'm just saying this as a control for like someone who's very type A and plans everything. I would love not to have anything to do with that. Like I would love for you to just like completely surprise me and do whatever you think I'm going to love.
Yeah, because the thought behind the ring is what's going to be special to you.
1,000,000%. And so the fact that she financed 80% of it tells me, oh, you cared more about the appearance than the actual engagement and the marriage. Like, no wonder it only lasted 72 days. You went into it not doing what I think you should do.
Poor Chris Humphries.
I know, honestly. I feel like he kind of got dragged through the mud through that whole thing too. Like, he kind of was the bad guy. And I'm like, I don't think
he could not wait to get out of that marriage.
Fully innocent in this whole situation either, you know?
Do you think that he should have asked for the ring back even though he did not really pay for a lot of it?
That was crazy. That part, I'm like, but also at that time, I mean,
He said, I'm leaving out of here with something.
Yeah, Kim was fine. And, you know, she's not going to pay him alimony. She's not going to pay him any of that. And he did kind of get put through the ringer through everything. So I'm like, if he needed that and that was his form of payment, if I were Kim too, I'd be like, take it and say la vie. Like,
yeah.
Take it, talk to you never.
You think he sold it?
I'm sure he sold it. There's no way he kept it.
Got a little coin for that.
Either that or he like had it taken apart and so he would have the diamonds to maybe use for like a child down the line. But no way is it just the same old ring and no way.
Yeah, no.
But
I don't know if I would have asked for the ring back. I think that is so tacky.
I also think too, it depends on certain situations. Like I think in some situations as a woman, why would I want to keep the ring? Like I would want to give it back. I don't know. I think it would just kind of depend on how far along you were, I guess, in the process too. Like, did we just get engaged and we're breaking up? Like, I'm giving it right back to you. Like, were we engaged for 5 years and I've been wearing it on my finger and now you don't want to get married? That might be a different conversation. But I do kind of feel like where Kim and Chris were like, girl, just give it back. Just give it to him. Even though you paid for part of it.
Let's just be done with him.
Let's just be done with him. And again, you didn't go into it with, and she's fully talked about before how the night before she wanted to run away and call it off, but she didn't because she was like, I have to go through with it. Like she genuinely, I think, just cared way more about appearance than what she was actually getting into. Which is
no regrets.
Yeah. Which
I know she wake up in the compound like, wow, thank God I did some shit.
But also let that be a lesson of like, don't rush anything.
Yeah.
You know, and also
listen to your discernment.
Listen to your gut. Like if she really did not feel confident about it the night before, she should have dipped.
I agree. Called it off and that still would have made good TV.
She should have. I mean, and I think Chris even offered, like, I will get us a car, a helicopter out of here. I mean, I just feel like that's what a good parent. My mom told me that right before my grandpa walked her down the aisle, he looked at her and was like, if you want to leave now, like, I will pull the car around. Like, are you sure? And she was like, yes, I'm sure. But, like, I kind of think that.
I love that reassurance. Like, if you want to get out of here.
Like, how parents should be. Like, it should kind of be like, or your close friends or whoever. I think that that's being a good friend, a good family member, just asking one more time, like, hey, before we sign on the dotted line, just know if you don't feel comfortable, like, let's go. Forget the party, forget the people waiting on you, forget all this stuff. Like, if you genuinely do not feel good about it, go.
It's a huge decision. You have to be sure.
A huge decision. I've only wanted to do it once. So, yeah, you know, fingers
Maddison,
crossed.
we're ready for you on Love is Blind. The second
my God. They're never coming to LA. They're never coming to LA.
Why?
I just feel like, one, I know that they already have like seasons batched. No one say that I said that. But I don't think, do you think they would ever come to LA? I feel like they wouldn't. I feel like there's too many people here who want to be influencers that they just don't think it would be authentic.
And that makes sense. I literally made a TikTok about how reality TV needs to stop casting influencers.
Yeah.
Because like they're just kind of doing it to
grow their
step up
following
in their career versus like making a good TV show and working.
Again, I feel like Love is Blind, you can never recreate the magic that happened in season 1.
I agree. I will say this. Love is Blind is good because each season has sort of like their thing about it. Like I can't remember a number, but I'll remember like, oh, Zaynab and the Cuties, Lauren and Cameron season. This season is like the Minnesota season where all the women were like, just kidding. And rightfully so.
Yeah. Were the men trash?
Yeah.
Did anyone get married?
One couple got
Only
married,
one?
but yeah, the rest of the men were really, really bad. One of them has like really strange allegations against him, like a full-on TikTok series. Girl, you need to get into that.
I saw the breakup over the girl breaking up with him being like, our values don't align.
Oh, there were like two couples that
because
were like
she has her sister's a lesbian, and she was
okay,
like,
so that was what's her name, the nurse girl.
Yeah.
So he was like telling her that he's really big on church, but the church wasn't really for homosexuality, and she found that out down the line. And so she broke up with his ass at the altar. The same thing with like Virginia and Devin, which was the black couple.
Mm-hmm.
Like we got to see earlier in the season that he basically eliminated one of his options because although they were perfect for each other, she was bi. He immediately eliminated her. And so then when Virginia came and she was like, well, I'm for the LGBTQ community, I'm a Democrat, I'm XYZ, he kind of kept quiet about it.
Oh.
And then down the line, she was like, well, our values don't align on top of, and this is a question for you, Maddison and community. If you were getting married to somebody and your spouse received a check for $1,000, is it important to you for your spouse to tell you before the wedding, or is it a small thing that can wait until after the wedding?
$1,000?
Yeah, like $1,000 check.
Do we know what the check was for?
It was a wedding gift.
Oh, a wedding gift?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I would kind of think it's weird you didn't tell me right when you opened it. Like, to me, like, if I received a check from somebody
if your fiance broke and you the breadwinner essentially in your mind, you know you making money and he's a little bit nearing debt. That's context.
Added details. That's
context is important.
I thought like, oh, he just got a check and was maybe like,
no, your finances his is our little.
Okay, his are rocky. I'm doing fine.
And his mama come and tell you like, oh, did you get the check from the boss? He sent over the wedding check. And she found out before the wedding.
Oh, no.
Like,
no.
See,
because like, to me, I'm like,
I
if you're in the thick of wedding planning and you get that and you're just kind of like, oh my God,
there's so much going on.
I still would have, well, just because I open my mouth about everything, and I would probably.
That's your spouse at this point.
Like if I opened a check for $1,000 as a gift, I'd be like, holy shit, guess who sent us $1,000? That's crazy.
That's exactly what I said, Maddison.
Like that's what I would
just
do.
in casual conversation it would have come up. You were clearly trying to hide it.
Yeah, I would have absolutely said something like, can you believe like, oh my God, like yes, honeymoon dinner, like
yes.
I would have been that aspect of it. But him kind of having shady finances and then not saying anything, I'm like, so
weird. Where
are you putting that $1,000? I would love to know.
He was like, oh, I just thought it was something that could wait until after the wedding. Like, No.
He already spent it.
And that's what Twitter said. He done went and spent that shit on some shoes because he had a sneaker obsession. So
there, see, it all
two
checks
pairs
out.
Of sneakers.
It all checks out. I'm dead. No, that's literally. I was like, oh, okay, so it's gone. That's why he was like, oh, I didn't say anything because it's gone. It's kind of like the Mormon wives TikTok where the one wife is Jen Affleck. She's the breadwinner, basically. Her husband is still in school, going to medical school, and she has to give him an allowance of how much he can gamble because if not, he'll just. But he's Mormon and doesn't want her backstage at a Magic Mike show, but he can go gamble. Make it make sense.
Fascinating.
Make it make sense.
Fascinating.
Yeah. Mormons, I really have learned so much from Real Housewives of Salt Lake.
I need to
TikTok
watch
moms.
Mormon Wives.
Yeah, you should.
On Hulu. I need to watch those.
Because they're
coming back.
They're coming back. And also I will say they're like in the stage of their reality television careers where they're trying to make the show work. So they will do anything. Like they put it all out there.
Best.
You know what I mean?
That's the best. I need thirsty girlies back on TV again.
You need a little thirst.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone's a little narcissist if they're going into that,
Or
narcissistic. But it's good. They really put it all. I mean, literally, like Taylor, Frankie, Paul lets them use the police body footage.
Oh, and in the episode when I gagged, I was like, oh, this is ghetto.
Yeah.
I was like, let me turn this off.
So when
what the hell?
I was like, she signed that release? Like, that's crazy. I would be like, no. Like, you could cut
she
to
said, I'm trying to be Lisa Barlow. Girl.
Yeah.
Bye. I'm getting this check.
It's true, though. I was like, oh, my God. No boundaries.
Whoa.
No boundaries. But incredible. Iconic. For us, we've loved to see it. To see it. Okay, I feel like we've put a lot in the teapot already this episode, but is there anything else you want to put in the teapot?
No, we're not putting anything in the teapot this episode because even though we know our excellent editor Danny will edit this video, it's already over an hour. Sorry, Danny.
So
so
sorry.
the teapot is full.
But
y'all
full.
could email us one.
Yes, please send us your toasted tea or your put it in the teapot submissions at toastedteapod@gmail.com. Please, we want to hear from you. We love hearing from the community. You guys know that you can follow us anywhere on social at toastedteapod, and you can follow me at I am Maddison Hill with 2 Ds.
You can follow me on Instagram at Courtney Revolution and on Snapchat, TikTok, and basically anywhere else at Court Revolution.
Yes, follow us. We will see you guys next time. Have a fantastic rest of your day, weekend. We love y'all. Bye, guys.
Bye, y'all.